Hi, today we're going to look at how to measure angles, and measuring angles can be tricky unless you know a couple little tricks that can help you out. So we'll start with the first thing, and that is the protractor. And if you look at the protractor, you can see that it's basically made up of 180 degrees, and there's a zero on the outside and on the inside. So you can see that there is a zero there, and there is a zero there. Same with the 180 and the 180. And so where it becomes kind of tricky is looking at what angle you're actually measuring. So the best thing to do is start with a right angle, because a right angle is exactly 90 degrees. So what I do is I take my protractor and I place the perpendicular lines, or the lines right in that circle there, right on the vertex of my angle. So if I do that, you can see that it lines up right on the spot. If I look at the protractor, I can see that my zero line is right there. And then when I look at it, the measure is 90 degrees. Here I have another angle. This angle is an acute angle, and hopefully just by looking at it you can tell that it is less than 90 degrees. So when I take my protractor, again putting my vertex right where the perpendicular is, I can see that my zero is there on the inside, and when I go up to that angle I can see 40's there, so it's very close to 45. So I would say that angle is about 43 degrees. Again, a lot of people get confused and say, well, it's 140 degrees, but that can't happen because it is an acute angle less than 90, so it has to be smaller than 90 degrees. Here I have an obtuse angle, and obtuse angles we know are greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So again, I can take my protractor and I can put that perpendicular right on the vertex of my angle. So you can see that I've got my zero down here, and if I measure through that entire angle I can see that it's just past 140 degrees. So I would say that is about 142 degrees. And again, because it's less than that 90 degree angle, greater than that 90 degree angle, it has to be obtuse. So again, a good way to double check to make sure you have the right angle measure. Here we have a straight angle, and this one's pretty easy. I can pretty much see for the most part that that is equal to exactly 180 degrees because it is a straight line. So the last angle we're going to look at is a reflex angle, and a reflex angle is greater than 180 degrees. So if you were looking at this angle here, you could see that this angle here would be acute, and then the one on the outside represents the reflex angle. So one way to measure the reflex angle again is to use the protractor. So if we bring the protractor over and we measure this angle, we can see that it is about, we'll say for our purposes, 48 degrees. And so what we can do here is actually just look at the entire angle as a circle. So if we started here and went all the way around, that would equal 360 degrees. So if I take the 360 and subtract the 48 degrees from it, that gives me a grand total of 312 degrees. And again, if I check, 312 plus 48 gives me 360. So there's one way of measuring reflex angles if you just have a 180 degree protractor. So hope that helps you out with how to measure angles and also how to classify angles between right, straight, obtuse, acute, and reflex. Alright, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.